Mr. Cannon, welcome.
Thank you.
You want to put that microphone on and hold it close.
Mr. Conyers and members of the committee. I want to start off by saying that the concerns that I'm going to be sharing with you today are not born of partisanship. It's no secret that I have worked for Republicans. I myself am not a Republican. I'm acutely aware of the last Republican president's failure to execute the laws faithfully. In 2008, though I supported neither major party presidential candidate, I actually preferred Barack Obama to his opponent, in part because he promised to curb such abuses by the executive. And I've praised President Obama for doing more than even many libertarians to celebrate the gains in equality and freedom our nation has secured for women, for African Americans, for gays, and for lesbians. Article 2, Section 3 of the Constitution, to which every president swears an oath, commands that the president shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed. Fealty to this duty is essential for maintaining our system of government and public order. The law is a reciprocal pact between the government and the governed. Public order requires government to remain faithful to the law as much as it requires a citizenry to do so, because if the actions of government officials lead citizens to conclude that those officials are no longer meaningfully bound by the law, then the citizens will rightly conclude that neither are they. Since he signed the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act into law, President Obama has failed to execute that law faithfully. The president has unilaterally taken taxpayer dollars made available by the PPACA and diverted them from their congressionally authorized purposes toward purposes for which no Congress has ever appropriated funds. He has unilaterally and repeatedly rewritten the statute to dispense taxpayer dollars that no federal law authorizes him to spend and that the PPACA expressly forbids him to spend. He has unilaterally issued blanket waivers to requirements that the PPACA does not authorize him to waive. At the same time, he has declined to collect taxes that the PPACA orders him to collect. He has unilaterally rewritten the statute to impose billions of dollars in taxes that the PPACA expressly forbids him to impose, and to incur billions of dollars in debt that the statute expressly forbids him to incur. He has unilaterally rewritten the PPACA to allow health insurance products that the statute expressly forbids, and he has encouraged consumers, insurers, and state officials to violate a law that he himself enacted. And he has taken these steps for the purpose of forestalling democratic action by the people's elected representatives in Congress. President Obama's unfaithfulness to the PPACA is so wanton that it's no longer accurate to say that that statute is the law of the land. Today, with respect to health care at least, the law of the land is whatever one man says it is, or whatever this divided Congress will let him get away with saying. What this one man says may flatly contradict federal statute. It may suddenly confer benefits on favored groups or tax disfavored groups without representation. It may undermine the careful and costly planning done by millions of individuals and businesses. It may change from day to day. This method of lawmaking has more in common with monarchy than with democracy or a constitutional republic. This president's failure, or any president's failure, to honor his constitutional duty to execute the laws faithfully is not a partisan issue. The fact that presidents from both parties violate this duty is cause not for solace, it is cause for even greater alarm, because it guarantees that presidents from both parties will replicate and even surpass the abuses of their predecessors as payback for past injustices. The result is that democracy and freedom will suffer no matter who occupies the Oval Office. I thank you, and I look forward to your questions.